Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. I know it's been a little minute, but I've just been so busy just working and getting used to my schedule so far and just, trying to make time for family and friends at the same time. So yes, today's video is going to be about what I've been doing since I started working. It has been a little over a month now. My first day was April 9th. The first day was just general hospital orientation, meaning everybody who got hired that month for April was there at the orientation. So it was nurses, doctors, cooks, environmental services, just everybody who just got hired or whatever like that. So that was the first day. It was so long. They had so many people come out and speak with us. They just went over different hospital policies and things like that. Some of the stuff was unnecessary. I felt like we probably could have left earlier, but it really doesn't matter because I guess we was getting paid regardless. The second day of orientation, that was nursing orientation. Well, I won't just say nursing because it was nurses, PCTs, paramedics, things like that. But it was more of a healthcare professional orientation. So those days, started Tuesday, so Wednesday, Thursday, Friday was the healthcare worker orientation. We went over different hospital policies, like over all the directors introduced themselves for the different units. So ER, tele, med surge, labor and delivery, all those different directors and managers came down and introduced themselves. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Thursday and Friday, we just did went over labeling, like when you go do like blood draws and the different specimens. We learned how to label those per hospital policies. What else we did? It was just a lot. I mean, that orientation for just nurses, PCTs, and all that was 2 weeks. I know that second week we came in, we were done meeting everybody. It was more of just like getting used to the documentation system, practicing on that, and they have these little assignments for different healthcare providers called whatever they're called, .edus or something like that. So we had like 40 of those to do, and some of them took up to 4 hours. So that whole week, that's all we did. That was just so draining and boring, just sitting at the computer all day doing little assignments. And we weren't able to go to the unit until we had finished completing those. So I say I finished like that next Thursday. I finished all my assignments, and then later on that day I went to my unit, which is the ER, and I met up with my manager and to find out my schedule for the following weeks and what my nursing orientation was going to be like. Nursing orientation, that's basically like the nursing training. They put you with a nursing preceptor who is basically like your trainer, and that person you're gonna follow for up to 16 weeks, I believe, and they're just gonna show you the roles to get help you get used to being on the unit and help you transition from nursing school into, being on your own as an RN. So yeah, I met my preceptor. My preceptor is good. I was with her for a week until she went on vacation for like 2 weeks. So while she was on vacation, I just floated to different units. I went to tele, which is like a tele-med surge floor, but everybody's on cardiac monitors, and basically those are your heart and cardiac patients, people with like congestive heart failure, hypertension, different things like that, valve replacement, stuff like that. So I was there for a day with those patients with a different preceptor. And then one day I went to ICU. Now the day I went to ICU, that was just so, what is the word? The day I went to ICU was very, I don't know, but it was just very sad. Like, I thought I didn't want to be an ICU nurse before, but now I definitely know I don't want to be an ICU nurse. They said there's like a big difference in ER nurses and ICU nurses. Like, ICU nurses are very organized, and they have all their lines and tools, label and stuff like that. And when you get to the ER, everything is sometimes just a mess, but we know what's going on because it's our mess and we understand it. But yeah, it's a big difference in ER and ICU. I mean, both are handling critically ill patients, but ICU, all your patients are going to be critically ill. Like the patient I had that day, was very ill. Like her O2 saturations went down to like 6%, and the normal oxygen saturation is 95 to 100. So imagine seeing a patient go down to 6%. And being a new nurse, that could be very scary. Me and my preceptor for that day was just like, okay, we're just gonna sit in front of her room and just monitor her all day. So yeah. But I did learn a lot in both units, both on ICU and tele. Just to see how they work and how they operate on their units was very interesting. It gave me a view and a good point of view on what they're talking about when transferring a patient from the ER to their units. So that was a good experience. After that, the week after that, I didn't go back to the ER for like another week because that next week, me and all the other new nurses, we did a EKG class. So for 1 week straight, we just went over EKG, studied, learned, and then that following Monday is when we did like an EKG test. We had to get at least an 85%, I believe, to pass. If you didn't pass, you either went through remediation. If you didn't pass after that, again, you will go down because it was just ER and ICU nurses. On both those units, the ER and ICU, you have to know how to read EKGs. So it was a must that we passed those tests. So if we didn't, we would have had to go down to like a med surge floor, which nobody wanted to do because, you wanted to stay on the unit that you got hired for, which you applied for. So I believe everybody passed. I don't know. I believe everybody passed. After I took my test and seen that I passed, I ended up getting a 95%. Once I saw that I passed, I just left and went home for the day. So I really didn't stick around to see what everybody else had made or if they passed or failed. But I'm pretty sure everybody passed because we had pretty much learned a lot. We were helping each other out, not during the test, but before the test, making sure everybody understood what was going on, making sure we all knew how to read the different EKGs and how to respond to them. So then I went back to the ER. My preceptor had came back from vacation. So yeah, I just been with her since then. It's been a good 3 weeks. My first week I did in the ER, you get up to 4 to 5 patients. My first week there, I took care of one patient on my own. So if that patient left, I received another one. I would do all the care. The following week I went to 2 patients. And this week, the week that just passed, I did 3 patients. I'm also going to do 3 patients again this week. But I said I wanted to stick to 3 patients, but 2 of those being critically ill and 1 of them being a not so critical patient. But I just want to get used to having patients on my own, being able to time manage and get everything that I need to be done and be able to critically think ahead of the doctor, okay, this patient came in with chest pain. I know I'm going to have to do an EKG. Even though it's not ordered yet, I know the doctor's going to order an EKG, so I could go ahead and start that. Start drawing labs because, they're going to want to check the different lab levels, especially troponins. When it comes to a patient with chest pain, you want to make sure they're not having a heart attack. So the troponin level in the EKG can, help them determine what's going on with that patient. So far in the ER, I've learned a lot. I'm just getting used to the unit. I'm pretty much really good with IVs, which I had already pretty much learned IVs really well during nursing school. What else? I have been able to see a few codes. My first code was, it was crazy. It wasn't my patient, but I did help out with the nurse who patient it was. I helped that nurse out. So I really didn't know what to do at that time, especially it being my first code, so I was a little nervous. But once I calmed down and got into the group of everything, I would just help and go get things that the different nurses need. Because when there's a code, everybody rushes to that unit, or to that room. So it's the doctor, the charge nurse, nurse manager, the nurse for that patient, plus other nurses coming to help out, a tech. Everybody is in there. It's like a lot going on, especially if they're coming in by rescue. It's like you have to help them transition from being on the stretcher to putting them in the bed from when EMS brought them in. You know, you're transitioning into like EMS. They have like an automatic thing that does CPR for a patient that's in a cold. So it's like, okay, you have to hurry up and switch to an actual nurse doing the CPR when they're transferring into the unit. So it's like somebody's doing a code, somebody's doing CPR, then doctor's yelling out orders, push epi, push bicarb, somebody's documenting, somebody's keeping track of the time to see when the next epi or bicarb needs to be pushed, somebody's doing post check, somebody's doing the bag for the breast. So it's just a lot going on. Unfortunately, my first code, the patient did not survive, but you know, it was sad, but I think I handled it pretty well because I didn't cry or anything like that. The part that did make me sad is when watching the family come in, view the body, and the whole family is just crying and stuff like that. That can really get to you. But other than that, I learned a lot. And I'm just getting used to everything. Me and my preceptor, we get along pretty well. My preceptor is very good. She is very thorough, and she makes sure I understand what's going on. If I have any questions, I can go to her and ask her anything. I try to pretty much do a lot on my own, but if I have a question, I do not mind asking because this is someone's life in your hand. This is like real life people, and I refuse to mess up. So yeah, anytime I have a question, she's there to answer them. She's very good. She actually has won Nurse of the Year, even though she hasn't even been in the ER for a full year. But she won Nurse of the Year. What else? Oh yeah, I experienced my first Nurses Week as a new RN. My hospital did a lot. Like, they had people come out and give us free manicures, free massages. They had this day where at lunch there was like a whole bunch of food trucks, and we were able to choose which food truck we wanted to go to, and the food was pretty much free. Yeah, it was free. The food was good. And, you know, anytime you get some free food, nobody's going to turn that down. And, yeah, so they gave out, like, T-shirts that had, like, our hospital logo and stuff on it. Ice cream parties. They had a karaoke lunch in a cafeteria one day. But pretty much everything's been going good. I've been learning a lot. I'm really enjoying it. Have no complaints so far. I know there's a huge difference from being in nursing school and doing clinicals and being on your own as a real RN. And, you know, this is your license on the line, so you want to make sure everything you do, you're doing it right and doing it well. But I've pretty much been learning a lot. I've seen a lot. At first, I was kind of mad that I had to drive like 30 minutes away from where I live to work. But at the same time, now I'm really happy that I do have to drive away because I don't want to have to know people where I'm from business. And it makes it a lot easier not knowing those people that's coming in for these different reasons, and you don't know them, you don't have them on Facebook, you don't have them on social media, versus if I worked at an ER back where I'm from or closer to my house, I'll probably know their auntie, cousin, sister, brother, or something, and I don't want to be that personal with the patient. So, I mean, now I don't mind driving 30 minutes away to go to work. The pay is good. One thing I like about my ER is that all the nurses, all the techs pretty much get along. From what I see so far, I know it's only been a little over a month, so I might see some stuff later on down the line. It was like, ooh, child. But right now, everybody pretty much get along. I know they're having a day where everybody's going to go paintball and stuff like that and have drinks. I'm not going, but I think I have to work that day. So yeah, I'm not going, but it's pretty much a good ER life, a good ER family. Everybody's really big on teamwork. Our managers are nice. The charge nurse, they're willing to help you if you have a question. And everybody pretty much works together. So, yeah, life in the ER has been pretty good. What else? Mm, what else can I say? I mean, I like it. Seeing a few codes helped out. The doctors are pretty cool. I mean, there's like one nurse practitioner who's a little rude, but other than that, all the doctors and nurse practitioners are pretty chill. As long as you do what you have to do and it's good communication back and forth, they pretty much, you know, everybody pretty much get along.